Hello, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. How are you doing? How art thou? So, something that's all over the news is the Epstein files, and some people are wondering why Donald Trump isn't releasing the Epstein files. He's claiming it's a Democratic hoax made up by Joe Biden and Barack Obama. But obviously I don't have the intel. I can only speculate what's in the Epstein files. I mean, I'd like to think rich, powerful, and interesting people weren't hurting children and innocent people, but I don't know. I mean, that some people say, Donald Trump is saying it's a hoax. Elon Musk said, then just release the files and notify us which part is the hoax. It appears like something was going on, but yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Jeffrey Epstein? What are your thoughts on the Epstein files? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump being on the list, Bill Clinton being on the list, and so on? That's obviously pretty bad. It's obviously pretty bad, but then again, I guess we got 666 in the house. He's saying, Andrew. Yeah, so 666, what is your thoughts on the Epstein files? What are your thoughts on, do you think it's a Democratic hoax like Donald Trump says? Do you think Donald Trump's guilty of nefarious things? Or what do you think? I mean, until the files get released, we can only speculate. I suppose. Christopher says, are you in the files, Andrew? No, I was a victim. Did you ever hear my song? I was the victim on Epstein's Island. I'm the person they're trying to cover up in silence. No, I'm just joking. I was never on Epstein's Island. I was the victim of the pedophile ring. I was the person they were all torturing. iBoss says he was a victim as well. iBoss was getting tortured on Epstein's Island as well by these rich, powerful, and interesting people. We were the victims of these sadistic persecutors. Somebody says, powerful people being brought to justice, laughing my ass off. Yeah, right. It's not going to happen. They have too much money and power to be held accountable for what they've done. I was a victim on Epstein's Island. I was a victim on Epstein's Island. Rich, powerful, and interesting people. All right, let's change the topic from Epstein's Island. I guess I could go over the artwork. I know some people don't like when I go over my artwork, especially the 4 panels. iBoss says, your grandfather, Joseph Reuter, was at Sean Combs's Puff Daddy's parties. Is that really the truth? Is that really the truth? Or are you just messing with me? My grandfather was at the Diddy parties. My grandfather Reuter was partying with Puff Daddy. So he says, where is Tara, the woman who makes songs out of your videos? I don't know where she's been, but yeah, I mean, we definitely need to get her to make an Epstein's Island song. We definitely got to get her to make an Epstein's Island song. I don't know where Tara has been. Hopefully, everything's going well for Tara. She was a cool chick, a cool lady. We dug Tara very much. But it appears like she's gotten bored. Some people think Tara wasn't real. She was just artificial intelligence. And she's, yeah, I don't know. My mother made me pasta for dinner. Pasta and meatballs. I was a victim on Epstein's Island. Cool Man says, Tara was a real person. I talked to her on Instagram. I thought she wasn't real too. So it says, Tara Social released a song 19 hours ago. Oh, let me check this out. Is it a cover or where's Tara Social? I think I'm following her. Subscriptions. Tara Social. Yeah. Looney Bin remastered. Oh, Tara's back. Oh man. Yeah, that's very much a cover of one of my songs. Wow, Tara is back from her 2-month hiatus. Welcome back, Tara. Welcome back. Yeah, we definitely like when sexy chicks dig us. That's definitely what we're into. Sexy chicks covering our songs. Yeah, that's pretty epic. Yeah, Looney Bin is definitely a song I created. You know, Ivor says Tara Social's the only sexy chick that's even been in your life since some of your ex-girlfriends left you. Brian wants to know, he said, I watched the Mr. Peaky video. They call me. Yeah, and he says, are you talking about your mom in that video? No, I selected my mother's name when she was married to my father because I didn't want people to think I was really singing about a neighbor. So, like, if I said, like, I don't know, Sally Richardson, and there was actually a Sally Richardson who lived next door, I didn't want a problem like that. So I decided to just choose my mother's name because I thought it was innocent and benign enough. But some people say by choosing your mother's name, you know, it makes everybody think you're into your mother, but that was not my intention. I said it was just another Christine Koloski who's not biologically related to me. So he says, why didn't you use a fictional name? I guess I should have, but I didn't. A Cool Man asks, are you not on any medication right now? Like no mood stabilizer? I'm on Abilify 10 milligrams, Cool Man. I'm on Abilify 10 milligrams. All right. So, Cool Man says, you seem pretty chill right now. I'm glad for you. In 9 days, it's my birthday. It's my 38th birthday. Is this going to be the day where somebody surprises me in a magical moment and I become rich and famous and my dreams come true And they say, Andrew, we were waiting for your 38th birthday to grant you with riches and fame and superstardom and your $1 million Hollywood contract. We were waiting for your 38th birthday. And I'll live happily ever after? Or is it just going to be like any other day? Most people are going to forget about it. And so he says, got any big plans for July 25th? Not really. Maybe I'll ask my mother if we can get some tangerine beef from Kwang Ming. Like, please don't forget about my birthday. Yeah. So he says, stop, you're making me hungry. Yeah, tangerine beef is good. Tangerine beef is definitely good. So Tara is back. That's great. I like Tara. I liked Tara. Tara was really cool. Let's see what she's been up to. I'll reach out to her. I haven't messaged her since May. Hey, Tara. How have you been? I noticed you reposted Looney Bin. Long time no chat. So hopefully we can get Tara kicking. Abilify, I'm about to just ban you for good. You never have anything nice to say. You never have anything good to say. Abilify might be getting the old Owen Hart from the rafters. Abilify, start running around like a buffoonish superhero. You're about to plunge to your death. You're about to plunge to your death, Abilify. Adios. Abilify is gone. But the show must go on. The show must go on. Abilify is no longer with us. We dropped Abilify to his or her death. I think Abilify is my mother, quite frankly. I got a big suspicion Abilify is my mother. And my mother's just bullying me through the internet. All right. So, anybody want me to go over some text-based drawing artwork? I mean, or anybody want me to go over some text-based artwork, or not really? I know some people said it was boring last time. I don't want to bore the people. Let's do it. Why not? Uh, 666 says, no, not really. Don't do it. Don't do it, Andrew. When you go over your artwork, it's kind of boring unless it's a drawing. I mean, the text-based drawings are not really too entertaining. All right, fair enough. So, Pudding Head says, do it. All right, so first off, I say, were my family and stepfamily associated with rich, famous, and interesting people for the past 20 years? Were they excluding me? Were pop songs and things in the media about me? Were they mocking me through their number one hits? While they were all millionaires living a life of luxury, I was a disabled adult child in solitude with no money. And Dr. Natural says these are examples of predicate logic and ideas of reference delusions. Pop stars don't know of you. The next one. When I'm angry, I like the song Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. But if you actually punched someone in the face, you'll go to jail for assault. It's not literal. It feels good when you're angry or frustrated, but the best revenge is no revenge. It's happiness and success. Calm down. The narcissists want you to react. That way they can claim you're the monster, bully, and abusive one. They want to erase all the torture they put you through. The best reaction is no reaction and to live life well. And this one, a middle-aged woman who I should have probably called an elderly woman, says, my 37-year-old children are like my best friends. It's like your best friend coming over once a week. They are independent, have a husband and a life. I say, my home is like a powder keg. I'm home all day, every day with my mother and stepfather. We have hostile dependency, all frustrated. My parents don't view me as their best friend. They say, oh my God, Andrew is so annoying. And I'll do this one too. I create a lot of social media content. Some people assume that's the real me. The truth is, I'm shy and timid in the real world. Social media can be like a reality TV show. I suspect people conspired into humbling me because they thought my sensationalistic character was real. I'm like a pro wrestler, they don't know me. I put on a performance because I want to be entertaining, not boring. I'm like a pop star. Have you ever been in a class with a lot of loud and talkative people? It's chaotic. I have nothing against these people, I like them, but they're so chatty. I want to stand up and scream, shut up, be quiet, silence. I'd never do it. If you actually did that, you'd get people upset and get kicked out of class. But them talking is irritating and annoying, though. Um, we go over this one. My mother asks me, would you like vegetables with your dinner? I say, my mother is not talking about dinner. Is my mother dog whistling and narcissistic baiting? Is she calling me a vegetable mind? Have the mega regimen of psychiatric medications melted my brain and turned me into a pudding head? And Dr. Natural says the meds have not rendered you a vegetable mind. It's predicate logic and ideas of reference. And this one, it was not my choice to take the mega regimen of psychiatric medications. I was forced by my parents. I think the psychopharmacologist should be sued for medical negligence, if not put in prison. I was not delusional, and they all know it. It was lies and gaslighting, pharmacological abuse. And Dr. Natural says the doctors and your parents say they never had nefarious intentions to torture you. And I'll go over this one here. I was chatting with this dominatrix on OnlyFans who calls herself Mama. She's degrading me. Mama is bullying me. Dr. Natural asks, this is incestuous. Is that a problem for you? I said, Mama is not my actual mother, and she's the only woman who has shown interest in years. I'm lonely. Dr. Natural asks, so you're letting this mama get off sexually to your suffering because you're lonely? This one, I say, My mother, stepfather, and father get off sexually from my suffering. They're monsters. Dr. Natural says it is not a credible idea that your mother, father, and stepfather are sexually aroused by your suffering. When you feel the constraints of your life, you blame your parents by bringing charges of sexual perversity. You really are suffering, but your parents are not sexual fiends. All right, that's it for the artwork. Anybody still here, or did I drive everybody away? Hello? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Somebody says that wasn't art. That was all narrative and the same repetitive message. So I had a psychiatry sessions many years ago, and I asked my psychiatrist what he thought the best artwork I created was. And he said he liked my 4 panels the best, especially the ones that related to psychiatry. He didn't like my drawings very much. He said my best content was where I told the story through 4 panel drawings. That was his perception, that was his take. And I know my father personally likes when I draw things. I feel like there's people who are technically more skilled than me at drawing. They can draw people and objects and things better than me. But what I do well, what I do better than anybody else is illustrate points of psychiatry and mental health through 4 panel drawings. And that's what I do better than anybody else. So. All right, I'm gonna get a cup of water here. Filling up the cup of water. Somebody says, I bet I can do better. All right, fair enough. If you think you can do better, do it. If you think you can do better than me, then do it. I remember I used to say, oh, I could be more talented than Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Downey Jr., Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry. And they're like, all right, if you think you're more talented than Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, you name it. If you think you're more Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, if you think you're more talented than them, then do it. Make it, do it. Do it. Make your get your message out there. Prove you're more talented than them. I mean, it's that simple. If you think you're more talented, if you think, do it. And if you don't do it, then you don't have a right to say you're better than them. Somebody asks, do I ever draw at home by myself? Yes, I do. Rarely, though. I mostly draw with my mother or at the art class twice a week. For example, the Mama from OnlyFans panel and the panel about, with Dr. Natural saying the constraints of your life. That one was drawn at home by myself. But I rarely draw at home by myself. I usually draw at the art class or draw with my mother. Giant Big Lighter said, what about videos where you want to get intimate with I don't want to get intimate with my mother. That's slander, Giant Big Lighter. The reason I chose my mother's name for the Peeping Tom video is because I didn't want to choose a name that could potentially be problematic. They say you should have just made up a fictional name, but I did specify in the video that it was another Christine Koloski, somebody who's not biologically related to me. So, Giant Picklecker says, using your mother's name is problematic. Puddinhead says, the only appropriate punishment for your mother that I can think of is a 75-man bukkake. It was like I felt HIV positive. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, the HIV accident wasn't my choice. Let's say there was a sadistic persecutor who did that to me. Let's say it was my mother. Well, it made me feel defective and damaged. It was like there was a bukkake of 75 men torturing me. It made me feel HIV positive. It was like there was a bukkake of 75 men torturing me. It made me feel HIV positive. So if my mother did that to me, the only appropriate punishment I can think of, I can't think of any other, would be for her to do a 75-man bukkake. And she would be doing it voluntarily. It would be her choice. Nobody would be forcing her to do it. But as an apology, she should do it because, yeah, we know the song. Bukkake. A 75-man bukkake for my mother. Somebody says 75 men to one woman is really much. All right, we also said many months ago, if my mother chooses 10 men, I would accept that. I realize she's older, I don't think my mother doesn't have the stamina for 75 men. We talked about this. We have to be fair. 10 men for my mother is appropriate. 75 men might be too much. So I says, yeah, that's right. All right, guys, you got any last questions, comments? Should I get ice cream? What should I do? I'm bored. I don't have any. Major of India asks, how art thou, Andrew? I'm doing all right, Major of India. I'm doing all right. How art thou? How art thou? I like how, the part of the... All right, guys, I think I'm going to hit the old dusty trail. Should I go get some ice cream, or what should I do? Or should I lie in bed, or... I'm bored. Major of India says, have a good day. Thank you, Major of India. I'll be back again. Peace out. I'm going to hit the bricks. I'm going to hit the old dusty trail. Thanks for watching. And I'll be back again someday.